have a short video today on the topic of moving a Twinmotion file into Unreal Engine. So some of you using Twinmotion might have gone into export to Datasmith file, trying to go into Unreal Engine, and you click one of those options, are really excited to go and save in. I'm going to call it Twin to UE, and when you click save, you get this message with the warning: please select the root folder of your Unreal Engine project to export your scene. And all that means is that you need first an Unreal Engine project and a folder that you can direct this Datasmith file to be exported to. So I'm going to go into Unreal Engine. I'm using Unreal 5.5.4, and now something else that I want to mention is, if you are working on architecture, you are learning on how to work with Unreal Engine, you might go into the architecture section and try to use one of these templates. And I would not recommend that as a beginner or while you are learning how to use Unreal Engine. Mostly because these templates, especially these 4, are going to have extra elements and a lot of things that are going to be really specific to editing or to controlling the environment in Unreal Engine, and you might get lost on why a few things don't work, or do you see something online on tutorials and it's not working the same way. It's because of those extra elements. So as a beginner, if you are learning Unreal Engine, and actually this is what I do most of the time, I would go into the blank section, or in the game section, the blank template, and that one you can then bring some extra functions to that folder or that template. All right, with that said, so as a recommendation, blank, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to call this one Twin to UE, and keep an eye on the folder that you are saving this in, because we need to go to that folder. By default is going to be the documents folder within the Unreal projects folder. So I'm going to click create. It's going to take a moment to load, but I can go directly into my documents folder, Unreal projects, and you can see now I have that Twin to UE file or folder. And this is the place where we can save that Twinmotion export. So I'm going to go into Twinmotion, I'm going to click now File, Export, and I'm going to use the standard option. And you also have this optimized option, and it might work if your computer is going a bit slow and you feel you want a bit more performance. This might help, but it has the trade-off of limiting the way that you can move or manipulate some of the geometries. Basically, the optimize is going to combine meshes or the geometries into the materials. Like for example, this table and this section here might have the same material. I think it's not, but if it is the same material, it would combine all of those into one mesh, and that's the way that optimizes things for performance. As you can see, if those are combined, I would not be able to control them independently. So that's why the standard option is the one that I go with most of the time. And then I'll just go into that folder, so documents, Unreal projects, Twin to UE, and I can say this, I'm going to call it the same, Twin to UE export, and let's click save. And that's going to take a moment to save, so I might pause the video and come back when it's done. Okay, and the exporting is complete. Now if I go to the folders, I can see a new file with the Twinmotion to UE export, Datasmith, and then a new folder with all the assets complementing that file. Now if we go into Unreal, and you may get this message, it's just part of the importing, just to process some of those files. And then something else that you need to do, you would go here in this section, in that cube with the plus, and you would have a Datasmith import in here. And if you don't see that one, it means that you need to activate the plugin, and it's going into that plugin section, and then we can search Datasmith. And I normally activate all of these at the top, all the ones that say importer, and we are going to restart. and it's going to take a moment, but now we are going to be able to import that Datasmith file. Cool. Now that this is loaded, if you see this message, go to click update. But now we can go into Datasmith file import. But before I do that, I'm going to create a new folder. Always good to keep things organized. In here, I'm going to call this one just models. Then I go into Datasmith file import and go to the same documents, Unreal projects, Twin2UE, and then the Datasmith, and click into the models folder. You can see the different things that are going to be imported. Something that might not work too well is going to be animations. So from Twinmotion you get the option to use some animated characters. You can animate a few things as well. You can have people or cars moving through a path. Those might not translate too well into Unreal, but materials, geometry, lights and cameras have been working quite well for me. So let's go and click import, and as they export from Twinmotion, the importing is also going to take some time, so once more I'll pause the video and come back. And the importing is complete. Now this is still a few meshes and shaders to load, but you can see that the model is here. And if we go to the same section that I had in Twinmotion, let's move around here. We can see the cameras, the lighting, and all of the objects with the materials applied correctly. There's still going to be some settings to adjust, so you can see the lighting is processed a bit differently, so I would have to change the intensity, change the source length and radius and things like that to make it a bit more realistic. But you can see how you can start to process everything from Twinmotion in the Unreal Engine editor. Right. With that said, hopefully this gives you a few ideas. There's a lot of opportunities from to use this workflow. So in Twinmotion you can take advantage of the library, all of the assets, all of the materials, and then move those into Unreal, which doesn't have a default library. You can bring anything that you want, but as a quick way and easy access library, this might work a bit better. So something interesting to think about. And with that said, I'll see you all in the next video.